I'm sure you've noticed that we live in a system that a lot of people cannot abide. And we do tend to think it's their fault. They may be sleeping on sidewalks, they may be begging on street corners, they may be addicted to drugs. They may have fallen out of a system where we assume they could have a normal life if they would just shape up. I'm thinking that we could kind of turn that on its head, that we need to look at our system itself that we take for granted and say, maybe the system is too cruel. Maybe the system is not suitable for everyone, not suitable especially for people with a little bit more sensitivity, people who just can't find their slot, their category to live within, that they have something going on inside them. It could be um, trauma. It could be some kind of imbalance in their emotional nature. It could be a chemical imbalance. People talk about that. I'm not so sure that even exists, but it could be the system itself. It could be that we assume that the system we live in is just life. It's just normal life. But there have been and there are other cultures that treat their human beings differently, that actually treat nature differently, that have a different kind of consciousness of what a human being is and what is a normal life. If you live in a culture that expects you to do something that you're just not capable of doing, or if you do have to do it, you're miserable. Now, whose fault is that? If you have no options to do what you're made to do, you're probably going to be a problem. You're probably going to fall out of the system and have so much pain that you'll do anything to just deaden it. So you end up chasing temporary fixes. Um, in, in a culture that can't really hold your most sensitive parts, your soul, your creativity, your sensitivity, in a sacred embrace and nurture it, and then blame you when you start suffering, what are you going to do? I mean, it is really an issue. And the people who do well within that kind of system are either repressing a lot and have some kind of buried anger, or they are dull anyway. Those really sensitive people, the people with something pushing at them to create, maybe some feeling for beauty, maybe some kind of love. If they can't express that, if they can't even find it in themselves, they're going to be a social problem. They're going to have a lot of inappropriate behavior. And in a society that has what we call the lower classes, the people who experience poverty, and they are always struggling just to stay alive and to have some semblance of a life, those people naturally are suffering, and that suffering is communicated to the world at large. We now find ourselves in a society that is breaking apart, is breaking down. The fact that somebody like Trump could be elected and take the most powerful country in the world and turn it into a loose cannon is shows something about the American mentality. It shows something about our state of awareness, our state of education, our, our buried angers, our inability to really judge people. This is not just a danger for our country. We are connected, our country is connected to the globe. We ourselves, as individuals, are connected to the globe. We're connected to everything. This is just a fact of life. This is we're born out of the matrix of living creation, and we're part of it the whole time, from beginning to end. And how we flourish or do not flourish, it, it affects the whole. It affects our society. It goes beyond just our family and our locale. It goes out to the whole planet. It goes out to the whole universe, probably. So that's a different vision of who we are and how we should structure our society. If we were to conceive of everything we do, from our work life, our religion, our education, our our food systems, the way we treat the earth, justice, everything, as being related, as being intimately implicated in the fate of the world and the fate of the people on the globe, we might have a calmer world. We might actually have a more thriving world. We might have a more creative world. Human beings are capable of creating incredible beauties. And what we have now, and I'm not going to blame it all on social constructs, because we create those out of ourselves. We create those out of our own hearts. If we have tiny little hearts, we're going to create a tiny little world. And it's going to make it very hard for people who have any sensitivity to actually make it through a whole life in that world. I have known people who didn't make it, and I'm aware that what they had was too much sensitivity and they didn't know what to do with it. So I think we're in a situation now where we're back to the drawing board. We're going to have to question the whole basis of our society and why we're here, how it should function, how we should relate to each other, all of it. And out of that, something different, something better could happen. We definitely have to do something. This is not going the right direction. All right, I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Just wanted to talk about that.